This show features adults using adult language. Falcon!
Geekquinox. Alright guys, welcome back to Geekquinox on the Two Hillbillies Play channel. I am Ji-Et-Toh, and as always, joined with my best hillbilly bud,
Don Bronson.
And we've still got our special guest with us. We got Brandon, aka Black Moses, in the house. And my comic wizard buddy Ben, aka Blitzstar.
Comic wizard. I like that.
He's a wizard, Harry!
Alright, so last time we talked about Doctor Strange. Woohoo, by the way.
Excited.
Yeah, pretty much killed the whole episode. A lot to talk about on that one. Maybe just, personal greed on my part. But so today we're going to jump in with May 5th, 2017.
Suggested.
Yes. But where Marvel starts its 3 movies a year slate, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. There is no synopsis. There's nothing really out for it yet, but I figure we can spitball and think what we may.
I'll go ahead and throw in my 2 cents. When I think of Guardians of the Galaxy, the first thing that comes into my head is Nova Corps.
Yes.
So they already in the first one you see Nova Corps. You see the lack of a lot with Nova Corps in that situation. Yeah. I really think that we're going to see Nova in this movie. I think that they're going to introduce Nova. It's going to be a lot, besides Dave Bautista being a badass, is Drax.
Okay,
stuff like that.
All right, let's backtrack a little. All right, we're on Guardians 2, and I want to go back to Guardians. Drax is one of the biggest badasses in the planet, and he got tossed around like a bitch that whole movie.
I was like, maybe he was just like he didn't develop his full potential just then. Maybe
I'm surprised he just didn't the Batista bomb somebody.
maybe it's a very early look at Drax. Now I don't like. I used to watch wrestling, and I don't watch. Like I don't even know. Like I knew Batista was a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Pinoy Pride.
But like I don't know any of his moves. I know that like when The Rock was like doing movies, they made it a point to be like, yeah, do The Rock,
bottom
on people.
Yeah. When he drops the people's elbow, it's all like Donkey Kong.
I always thought was fucking super corny.
Yeah.
Like, but super cool for people.
Yeah, I guess.
By the way, like preview in a future episode where he talk when we're on DC's. The Rock is Black Adam in the Shazam movie.
Super.
Really?
And when he drops the people's elbow on Shazam, I'm going to be like, all right, I could die happy.
We'll get to that. I have a lot to spill about it.
Is he going to drop the people's elbow on Shazam or Superman?
Shazam.
Probably both at the same time.
He's going to do a double. Yeah, he's going to do a double.
I'll be honest, that's one of the things I'm really looking forward to talking about.
Back to your point on Nova being in Guardians.
I think it's very
likely, and I think it's very possible. Or I said that wrong. It's very possible. I don't think it's very likely. Here's my reasoning. They set up Chris Pratt, aka Star-Lord, to be the run of the show.
Yeah.
When I think of Guardians and I think of the Nova Corps, when I think of Nova runs that shit.
Nova does. Well,
and I don't see them taking Star-Lord out and putting him in the minor role. Now, if Nova comes in, he's not going to be the leader of the group. I think if Nova comes in, he's going to take a back seat to and be just another one of the characters.
I would be okay with that. I don't have any arguments or discrepancy with that. I'd be okay with it, but I do think that you're going to see, if not a full appearance of Nova, you're going to see Nova.
Yeah, I think that's more likely. That is like he'll show up and like kind of take a part in it, but I don't know that he's going to have a giant role.
I think
because
a lot,
of that fact.
To be honest with you too, I think this movie is going to start focusing a lot on the Infinity Gauntlet.
Absolutely
covering
it's going to have to because this deals in space and everything. And we'll get on this later when we start talking about different properties and stuff. But like not having the Fantastic Four and the Silver Surfer and stuff like in this space place
has a lot to do
with Thanos and all these things taking that kind of sucks. But Thanos. Here's another thing. We've all watched Guardians. What do you think of Thanos? All right, I know how we thought about it. We saw him at the end of the Avengers, and I was, oh shit, I know who that is. And boy, I'm happy.
I'm still at the point of like they're doing Ultron.
Well, yeah.
So Thanos.
But looking at Thanos in Guardians,
badass. I mean, he is that.
I wasn't impressed.
No.
Really?
I mean, in Guardians, he was just a face.
No. In Avengers, it was a face.
Thanos in Guardians of the Galaxy.
You saw him sitting in a chair and
You saw him sitting in a chair. You barely saw.
Ronan was the main antagonist.
Yes, but I mean, they showed Thanos in full armor sitting in that chair.
You still see Thanos, but Ronan was
he
like
just sitting there. He didn't show any of his power. That's because
Thanos is the boss.
He doesn't have to. That's the thing. He'll sit there. Okay. So Ronan tries to do his little rebuttal towards Thanos. Thanos doesn't bat an eye at Ronan. You know why?
He ain't broke a sweat.
Because Thanos can be like, okay, I am going to crunch you up into a basketball and shoot you like MJ.
I thought it was because his face was just stuck like that. He looked very immovable.
Wait till you see him with the Infinity Gauntlet and you start seeing that beautiful smirk that we all remember.
He likes to smile, surprisingly.
See, I don't know anything about the Infinity Gauntlet. As far as the movie goes,
God, it's gonna be.
I saw Thanos, and he looked like, of course, dude, the way they treated him in the movie, he looked like a main antagonist.
Right.
Later on, like he was gonna be important,
and that's exactly how they're doing it. But he was just
sitting there. I didn't really feel that he was. I mean, I felt that he was important because of how Thanos treated him before he got the Infinity Stone.
Yeah.
But until that, I still I don't
really
know.
So you see Ronan. Okay. You see Ronan get a Infinity Stone.
Yeah,
Infinity Stone.
There's 6.
Right.
You see Thanos in the future with a gauntlet with all
stones in there.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that happened.
That's
Thanos is a badass without that gauntlet. Thanos would whoop. I'm willing to say Thanos would whoop Ronan's ass whether he had an Infinity Stone or not. Thanos could have none of them.
Why do you think Ronan bowed to Thanos?
Yeah.
Ronan bowed to Thanos. Yes, there's a power. He understands. I'm not gonna walk up to fucking Jason David Frank and be like, "Yo, dude, I can beat your ass." Yeah, blah blah. No, there's an understood respect there between martial artists and martial artists that, okay, you're a higher class than me.
Right.
Yes, Sensei.
This is what I'm getting at in the movie, though. Like, he was just too shiny.
I will agree with that because
I didn't enjoy the costume.
In Thanos' Quest, he kind of had some shiny shoulders.
Yeah, I get the shoulders. I mean, I know the general color scheme of it and everything, but I was like, dude's got too much bling bling to be badass. Like, it looked heavy. And I love Thanos.
Well, shit, he fucking looked heavy.
Yeah, I mean,
he looked like the fucking thing. He was huge. He's got this
He's
fucking
big, no dude.
eyebrow.
He towers.
He's big.
Made out of stone. I mean,
he towers, man. When I really feel that you're gonna see him come into action in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. You might not see a whole lot of it, but you're gonna see.
Well, that's fixing to lead directly towards the Infinity Wars that are going to be coming out. And
you're gonna
that's
see.
Be all
that's
Thanos,
what I'm saying.
Baby.
You're gonna
all
see
Thanos,
a lot of
day.
the intro level of Thanos. You're gonna see him probably at the end of the movie cutscenes acquiring that last stone, and you're gonna see that and huge aura, and you're gonna see that peerless, beautiful smile at the end. That beautiful smirk. That he just now has the world, the galaxy in his hands.
I have a noob question.
Okay.
A newbie question.
Okay.
A noob sidebot question.
All right,
Go
ahead. All right. So in Guardians of the Galaxy, they went to a place called Nowhere, which was an entity. It was basically the head of an entity, like a cosmic entity. Is that actually anything important, or was that
I gotta be honest, as far as my knowledge of comics and stuff go, I don't know shit about Nowhere.
I don't know either.
Yeah,
I know nothing of Nowhere.
It was a place where no rules mattered.
There's plenty of places like that in the comics, as far as
but it was
taking
place inside of an entity's an ancient entity's head.
If Marvel wants to tie that in some way, they can. I don't see that being.
It's not.
Anything.
But so you guys aren't familiar with it.
No,
I'm not. I mean, I'm sure it is somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm more on the DC side of things.
Though.
It's nowhere, but it's somewhere.
Touche. With that being said, I mean, I will probably do a little bit of research into it, and I'll come back.
I really thought it was interesting. I mean, I was like,
Interesting,
oh my God,
yes, but I don't
is-
see it being prevalent to anything.
Well, see,
There's obviously, and it's understood in Marvel, there's superheroes. So they're already a higher source of power.
Yeah.
Then you have these other cosmic beings like Thanos, Beyonder, Adam Warlock that are just like stupid powerful. That are next level than that.
Yeah.
There has to be something above that. So
Yeah,
that
I mean-
might be tying into that.
Well, Thanos himself is the Mad Titan, one of the many Titans.
Yeah.
that,
I mean, like my whole thing is like I know that these movies come from somewhere. Like they come from comic.
yes, they're very good.
So like
about
when
hitting
you
the
say
source
when
material.
they're like we're going to nowhere and it's a floating.
You
head
feel
in
like
the
it's a-
universe.
you feel like
And
it's a big
it's a
thing.
huge entity that fucking.
But that
used
shows
to
how
exist.
good the movies do when they can take something like, and I'm not saying Nowhere's not big in the comics, but I feel like if it was somewhat big,
I would
we
probably
would know.
have heard about it.
Yeah.
And I
that
don't.
was just my question.
You know,
I was
I'm
just-
not a
I was-
super comic nerd genius or nothing, but I feel like that not having heard that, it doesn't play any sort of giant storyline
It's not
part.
it's not an X-Men.
Yeah, I was just.
Yeah, I mean-
I was just curious because it seemed like a big thing. Like it was an entity.
You
that was
might-
giant. It was huge, and they're living. It's like a planet that they're living inside, and they're like mining
You
all
might
of the
think of-
organic.
They might
material
touch
inside
on
of
that during the Infinity War stuff because that's when a lot of the cosmic powers like Kronos and stuff like that is going to start seeing some
This
play.
is way jumping the gun. But how cool would it be, like, after this little slate they've got going and stuff, like, go from
They're
Infinity
in
Wars?
2030 when we're 80 years old. Yeah, okay.
I'm dude. I'm still rocking it out, dude. 30, I don't care. But how cool would it be to go from Infinity Wars to Secret Wars?
Ooh.
That would
See,
make
I
sense.
don't even know. Like,
Secret Wars is taking every
Right,
cool
Moses?
ass character in Marvel and
It's
throwing them on
simple.
a planet against every bad different guy in Marvel and saying, have at it.
wait, what? Explain that. Like,
Okay, so-
Yeah.
All right, I got.
rewind that and explain that
So
again.
you're playing chess. On one side, you have X-Men,
Spider-Man,
Avengers,
yeah.
Every
Avengers
every
on
good
one
guy.
side. On the other side, you have every bad guy ever. On the other side,
Doctor Doom.
and then you sit there and you have these extended beings like
the Beyonder.
the Beyonder, people like that. They're basically playing chess with another cosmic entity, Kronos, whoever else is, being the other half of the time, saying, "Your move, let the fight begin." And then they just sit there and they watch the most powerful superheroes fight against each other when, you have these other entities that can do that and they're all dead. And that's basically what they do. They just let them play
They
chess.
popped them all out
In Secret
of their
Wars,
reality,
With
dropped
this
them on
being
a planet and
said,
said,
you also
go.
see Secret Wars number 8, first black suit. Spider-Man.
Technically not the first appearance.
It's not the first appearance. It's the first black suit Spider-Man,
Yes.
number 8. You
Yeah.
see him in that. And then you have Spider-Man number, I think it's 266.
Yeah.
You see him-
something like that. Yeah.
So who are these superpower entities that have so much control?
And that's where Beyonder-
things
you
that
have
they
to-
might not even touch. Things that make Thanos look like
You
he is.
they will probably start touching on this during the next Avengers movie. Not this
During
one.
the Infinity
next.
stuff.
So
yeah.
like Star Trek, what was the dude's name? That was like fuck around with Picard.
Q.
Q.
Yeah.
Something like
People
that.
like that. Yeah.
So yeah.
You're
That's-
welcome, Star Trek guys.
Hell yeah.
Hey man, you Star
Plug.
Trek. Yeah. Tricky's unite.
It's gonna be awesome. There's so many possibilities, man, and everyone has a boss. Everyone's got someone more powerful than them, and it's like, well, hey, who's
man,
Thor's
that's
boss?
so- that's
This is why I'm
Whoever's
disappointed
there's always
in
somebody.
in Marvel not having some of their properties. Because, dude, if you could throw like Galactus and Fantastic Four, things like that into this space
So I'm
thing that
pretty
they got going.
I'm pretty stupid to the whole like why isn't all this under one umbrella? Like why is it
Because
all...
back in the day, Marvel wasn't doing so hot. They weren't.
Started struggling.
They were struggling,
So they
and
sold
basically,
out.
they had to sell out. They were like, all right, you want to pay for something? Like, here, we'll keep going. You buy this. That gives us money to keep going with these. And they basically just sold piece after piece after piece.
Yeah. So basically all Marvel needs to do is rally behind the most popular thing that they got going and really make it a fucking
Well, and they are.
and really make it
Avengers.
count
What?
and then and get all their assets back.
Well,
The problem is with that is they're launching this whole death wave, and we touched on this maybe an episode or two ago about how they just killed off Wolverine this year.
I think we were talking about that off camera, but yeah.
Okay, well they killed off Wolverine this year.
Yeah.
They're planning on killing off Fantastic Four, X-Men.
Fantastic Four has a very legitimate reason behind it, though. Marvel is not exactly all into this reboot that they're doing, which we will be talking about that. So
Yeah.
And that has a lot to do with why
A lot
they're
of it has to
killing
do
that
with
off.
rights and stuff. there,
Exactly,
too.
yeah.
So they're planning on killing Wolverine, planning on killing off Fantastic Four, X-Men. That's huge.
That's
and
beyond
Deadpool.
huge, yeah.
They're 4 bestsellers besides Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know, and that's crucial. Like, I don't know the whole game plan for me from what I'm
It's
thinking.
to shut everything down.
From logically, from a
But here's the thing, though.
logical point of view, they're trying to do this so they can get their shit, back.
All right, here's where I'm going to go with this. All right, 1, I get that you want your stuff back. All right, 2, as a comic book person, the comic fans don't have enough power to do this because it's not just comic
Especially
fans
when
going to
you're-
see these movies though. Comic book fans are not responsible for $1 billion of the revenue. You know, we're responsible for a few million, not a billion. You know, so many people watch these movies that have never picked up a comic book and couldn't tell you
That's
shit
why
about it.
Guardians of the Galaxy was the highest grossing source of
Exactly.
entertainment of all
I
time.
guarantee you so many people that went and saw it. Even comic book
It
fans
did
that did not read that
It did
shit.
$1 billion worth of sales.
Yeah.
And it says
So
something.
I don't think that dropping all of them are going to help so much in that point. I mean, I understand what they're doing with it. And 2, I don't necessarily want everything to go back to Marvel. I get why they want it back. Marvel's doing a good job, and I understand why they should have it back because they can do a good job. But the more you give them, the less we get.
True.
You can't make Spider-Man, Captain America, Avengers, X-Men, but you can't. They can't produce 7 movies a year. I mean, they're vamping up to do 3, and that's pushing it.
They
you
could.
know?
They could. Disney is a powerhouse.
Yeah, but Kevin Feige has his hands on everything, and by the way, bravo. You know, he's the man for the job. I mean, it is. Stan Lee was the original Marvel guy. Like, when you say Marvel, Stan Lee comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
This future generations, when you say Marvel, it's going to say Kevin Feige. I mean,
He's
that's
the
just
one
how
that's
it's going
making
to
the
go.
plays. He is.
So, I don't necessarily want Marvel to get everything back because we as fans are going to miss out on some things because they just cannot keep up with that much production.
Now let's take in this perspective though, X-Men and Spider-Man, what they've done with it out of Marvel's hands.
All right, they did good and they fucked up. Both franchises. Both franchises. All right, let's look at it like this. The very first X-Men, and I'm talking about, it came out a long time ago.
2000.
I
was stoked when I watched it.
It was good.
I was like 9 or 10 years old.
It was good.
Yeah.
I was okay with it.
Good movie.
All right, they got stupider as
What
they
happens
went
to
along.
a
I mean,
frog
this what happened.
Lightning storm.
I mean, Venom should have just been fucking
God.
insane, fucking
Dude, yeah,
crazy.
Venom.
That's the most
We
disappointing.
won't start on that because
we're still going to get to that too. True.
Spider-Man is a completely different, sad part of my life.
But listen to that. But listen to this, though. All right, it raises a good point.
I think the actor that they had for Spider-Man was
new one or-
good.
The new one or the old
Toby.
one?
Old one.
Toby?
I
Toby?
think Toby was, no. And hear me out. I think Toby was good, but just like you've said, Ben, sometimes it's the writing.
It had a lot to do with the writing.
Yeah.
It had a
There's no
lot
doubt
to do
about
with
it.
it.
There's no doubt about
Because
it.
the
I
first
think
Spider-Man wasn't
Having
terrible.
Spider-Man dance through the streets.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't think
I don't even remember
There's
that movie.
no way
movie's
that
horrible.
Toby was like, all right, I'm going to dance and do this. No, it was
I
the
heard
writing.
Toby's a dick, though.
He is, probably.
Just
I don't
saying.
know.
But
Don't know the
Toby
guy.
Maguire,
You're probably a cool dude, but
I'm
probably
never getting an
not.
autograph now, but I might not have anyway, so.
Quick
I'm
question though: how can you write a Spider-Man movie and not even have one sarcastic comment or joke in it?
That's
And,
why-
like,
That's
all
all the
three
film.
of the
That's
first
why
Spider-Man
the
movies was
new
like,
ones are so much better to
Yes.
me.
Yeah.
Wait,
Because
didn't he fucking say something?
he
Toby
started.
Maguire?
It was,
There
but
was-
it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't to the whole
Not to the
like
level of the
that
what the
it
new
should have
ones
been.
did, yeah.
When I pick up a Spider-Man book, there's certain expectations I expect. I expect him to grieve, but when he's in his Spider-Man costume, I expect him to be a sarcastic to lighten up his day.
Yeah.
I want him to make jokes to the bad guys, beat the shit out of the bad guys, come home, take off his cowl, and be like, Man, my
sucks.
life fucking sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody I ever loved has died or is going to die.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
If you don't know that, wherever you been.
Imagine the first internet troll, and that was actually Spider-Man. Just going around the World Wide Web, man. He's the worst internet troll ever, dude.
That is actually a damn good.
Yeah. Okay, but now, all right, on that topic, all right, X-Men's had some shitty ones, Spider-Man's had some shitty ones. Here's the difference. Everybody is clamoring, give Spider-Man back to Marvel. They've seen it, Sony and Marvel have talked and everything. All right, we forget. Everybody was saying that about the X-Men, too. They were like, give him back, let them do their shit, they know what they're doing. Nobody says that now. But why? X-Men First Class, X-Men Days of Future Past.
Yes.
They got their shit together. They're doing it right. Everybody's accepting it, saying these are movies are badass. I'm there. I'm down with it. And that's where we're at. If Spider-Man can come out, if Sony can put out a good Spider-Man movie and fix this, you know, it's just all forgiven. We're so easily distracted. We're easily like, oh, there goes the kitty. You know, like whatever it may be. So
I think the issue is not necessarily if they're all back at Marvel. Is just how can you just not reference each other? It's like we were saying Easter eggs. Every Marvel movie has an Easter egg. Well, all these others are connected too, and how can you just not?
It all goes back to
mutants?
legalities, dude.
That's something that's just out of.
That shouldn't be that hard. Everyone, all they want is one thing: money. That's all.
True.
When Disney throws you fucking 6 zeros behind something and you still say no.
The thing is they can pay for that. Marvel, Disney, they can pay for that. All right, they run the show. They're
Sony can too.
They're the shit of the wall.
But
Sony can throw money, but Sony can't throw that kind of money.
That's the
and
thing.
here's the thing.
This is Sony's
Marvel
like
saying
ace in the hole.
It is. Spider-Man is what's going to keep them alive or not,
It is.
and they know that. But Sony, Marvel can say we want it. But we ain't got to buy it. They're going to say, go ahead, make another shitty movie. Let everybody jump on the bandwagon and say, burn to hell, whatever it may be.
And that's part of it, too. We talked about it.
You'll be begging them to take it.
We talked about it because they can still do Miles Morales. They can still do Scarlet Spider. There's a lot of other
they've got other properties that we're going to talk about, too. When we
that they can do.
Yeah.
That's still part of it.
It's, and as a person that doesn't really like, is not a comic book reader. When they made another Spider-Man, I was like, why are they making another Spider-Man? Like, why are they doing this? Like, I didn't understand.
I was so happy.
Yeah, I can't.
Spider-Man 3 was
and
the
I
worst
watched it, and I was like, what the fuck? It's because these two entities want it, and they don't know how to fucking even deal with it.
Well, and the thing was I'm not gonna lie. The original Spider-Mans, the first two, the second one blew up. It was so good. A lot of people liked it. The third one, the saddest excuse for a movie. One of the saddest excuses for a movie I've ever seen.
And it would have been
rather
okay.
eat through my butt and poop out my mouth.
Yeah,
I love that '70s show. But that dude.
Topher Grace is not Venom. He's not.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
That was writing. That wasn't just bad acting. That was bad writing, bad direction.
The director
around the board
I
was
literally
bad.
feel like the director. She just did not. At this point, she was just like, "I quit."
The best thing they could have done. The best thing they could have done with Venom is just had some fucking insane bodybuilder play Venom and not even show.
Well, the guy
Venom,
that they had play Sandman. I feel like he would have been a better cast for Venom
than he would have been.
Sandman.
That whole story too with Sandman turn around. I killed his uncle. What that stupid shit, dude. Yeah,
kill me.
The movie was just fucking
so Sandman
bad.
wasn't the person that killed. It was just some whatever.
The way they had it set up in the first one was
guy.
right. The way it was done in the first one was right.
It was just some random guy, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Well, it was that wrestler guy that he could have stopped but didn't. That's how it was done. And I mean, the movie was just so bad on so many levels. It really was, and which is so. God, it hurt so much because Venom wasn't like one of the original Spider-Man bad guys, but he is
definitely the most.
Yeah, I mean
Venom, and then you even get to Carnage.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh shit, Carnage, dude, he's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy cool, man.
Crazy. Yeah. And that spins off into its own little thing.
You know, there's been so many video games with Spider-Man, Venom, and Carnage.
Yeah, Maximum Carnage, one of the best games they ever did.
Dude,
back
it had
in the day.
its own color fucking cartridge.
Yeah.
Dude,
Like, that was a big deal back in the day.
Yeah,
I literally have an emulator and Spider-Man Maximum Carnage on my phone right now. I can start that Joker up and play it, and you hear it. Dun, 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 dun.
But you also own the game, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yes, he owns the game.
I owned it back in the day.
Who believes the party?
It's like, hey, I bought it once, I'm good for the rest of life. Like,
But yeah, I mean that game, like, if that didn't put Spider-Man into perspective for you, like the motherfucking people that are directing Spider-Man needs to fucking watch, or they need to play.
Dude,
Spider-Man Maximum Carnage.
You can say the
They need to
same
play it, and
thing
then they need to make a fucking
about
movie.
like Resident Evil and a shit ton of other movie
oh god,
adaptations.
yeah, we're gonna get on.
We're not gonna get on that right now. But alright, so
we're talking about.
So we have movie launches in 2017. What's the other big launch?
The
happening in
other,
2017?
well, there's two actually.
Okay.
Guardian starts it.
Yes.
All right, and we're not gonna have enough time to get into the other two because they're gonna take too long. All right, but we'll go ahead and say these because that's what we're gonna talk about next episode. Both of these, Thor Ragnarok, and I've got
Crucial.
a lot to go on that.
Crucial,
because
very crucial.
Huge,
Big, crucial.
big time.
I'm
story.
expecting some Beta Ray Bill being in that bitch.
Oh man, I can't.
And we'll get on that.
All right, so and Black Panther, which he's going to be introduced
He's
to
been
us.
casted. We talked about this
Yeah, he's going to
previously.
show up in Cap Civil War, and I'm pretty sure they'll probably drop them in and out.
Yeah,
Some small tidbits and like other ones, but this is big on other reasons. If you look at it in a cultural reference, like one of the first black lead superhero things.
Besides,
it's a
they
big
doing
time. Yeah.
Nick Fury is black.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they don't really consider him a lead, like to
Nick
carry
Fury-
the story, to do everything.
Well, even
and-
Nick Fury was like white before he even.
That's
Came
true
black.
too. It was the ultimate.
Sergeant
when
Fury.
they did the ultimate.
Sergeant Fury and the Howling Commandos.
Yeah.
We can never forget about the Howling
Yeah.
Commandos.
So that's what we're going to be talking about next time. So tune in for that, and God, I can't wait to get back to the part where we're bashing these other crappy movies.
So
Green Lantern was pretty good.
so when are we talking about Ragnarok?
That's going to be next episode. We're going to start that next episode.
Next episode, guys.
All right. So we'll go ahead and say our goodbyes. Like I said, this is two Hillbillies play. They've been drinking a little bit.
we may or may not have been consuming alcoholic beverages.
I can walk a straight line.
Possibly.
I'm not as thank as you drunk I am.
All right, but check out our channel. We got some other videos up. We got more things on the way. We've been saying in the other videos we will have a once we hit a certain amount of subscribers, we will start a giveaway. And let's get your comments going. We're going through the superhero thing, the movies and stuff. We got more things on the way, but let us know what you want to talk about, what you want to hear, and we'll have all that going for you guys. This has been Ji-Et-Toh.
John Bronson.
Ben Bloodstar.
Black Mo.
And we will see y'all for the next episode. Later.
Bye.
Finish him.